If there's one thing that's for sure, is that lockdown has forced a lot of us to expand. Some of us have expanded our families, while others have expanded their waistline, with me forming part of the latter. But when it comes to cars, one thing is for sure in our market: bigger has become better. And I'm not going to waste your time and tell you about all the new crossovers that are launching. But I'll tell you this, today I've got the new Mitsubishi Xpander, and this is an MPV that has aspirations to be an SUV. Let's check it out. The Xpander uses Mitsubishi's new dynamic shield design language, which means the vehicle looks nice and modern. I like the mix of piano black and chrome inserts. The headlights look nice and sharp as well, and they use LED technology, which again makes the vehicle look that much more modern. If I look at it from this angle, you can really see the MPV proportions. But this vehicle does look much larger because it is higher, 205 millimeters higher to be exact, because it does have a ground clearance of 205 millimeters, which is very good for an MPV. This automatic version gives you 16-inch wheels, whereas the manual gives you 15 inches. Opening the boot, this is where all the magic happens, because if I put down all these seats, I've got up to 1,600 liters of luggage space, which means you can literally put anything in the back here. When you step inside the Mitsubishi Xpander, this is where you start seeing some of the MPV elements come out. They've made it quite simple, but you can feel that the materials used are durable materials. So I can tell you that there are plastics, but the kind of plastics that they use look like the ones that are going to last a very long time. Personally, I think an MPV needs to be able to be comfortable, because this needs to be a car that you can drive for a very long period of time and not get too tired. And I can tell you that these seats feel quite nice to sit on. Now, when it comes to the engines of the Mitsubishi Xpander, we have got a 1.5 litre normally aspirated engine on offer. There are two versions you can get. You can get a manual and you can get an automatic. The manual is a 5-speed manual and the automatic is a 4-speed automatic, and I'm currently in the latter. The engine produces 77 kilowatts and 141 Newton meters, which for an MPV is not bad, but for us folk here in Gauteng, we might love a bit of a turbocharged engine because it just gives us a bit more torque to play with at this high altitude. But that being said, for the application of this car, the Mitsubishi Xpander does go well. It's not a very heavy vehicle, so it doesn't feel like you are shuttling a lot of weight, but it does have a bit of get up and go should you want to really overtake quite quickly. When it comes to fuel consumption, Mitsubishi claims that this Xpander automatic will average 7 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, I've only driven this car for a short time in the city, so I don't think it would be fair to use the current figures that I'm getting now, but reading on various reports, many people have gotten somewhat closer to that 7-liter mark, but more or less probably a little bit higher, because we all know that you need a perfect condition to get that kind of fuel consumption. From a ride and handling perspective, this Mitsubishi Xpander is quite pleasant to drive. It's one of those vehicles that you can drive without thinking, and many vehicles like this need to be those kind of vehicles where you don't really need to think about your driving process. You need to simply get in, go to where you need to go, and get to your destination safely. Speaking about safety, I do have a driver and passenger airbag. Just in case anything happens, we will be safe. And for those parents out there, you'll be happy to know that you've got ISOFIX anchor points, which makes getting your child seat in and out much easier. In terms of technology, we do have an infotainment system that is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible, which makes life very easy when it comes to connecting your phone, because you can simply put your USB in and your phone will mirror onto your screen, so you don't have to spend a lot of time pairing Bluetooth. Of course, this car being an MPV, you do have plenty of space. You can see that this car was built with people moving or families in mind. And that's the one thing that this car does do very well. It offers plenty of space for the family, which means that road trips are going to be that much more exciting because you do have a little bit of room to get nice and comfortable. Overall, I must say I do like what the Mitsubishi Xpander has got to offer. These vehicles are honest cars, and because Mitsubishi has got such a good reputation for making solid vehicles, you know that it's going to be here for a long time. Look, this is by far not the most exciting car we've driven, but it does have a certain charm to it. And the fact that it starts at just under 300,000 Rand means that it also comes in at quite a good price.